Pressure drop, play the Dane, New England IPA.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I don't know what's going on with the weather, but it is fucking stormy out there. There's rain, there is wind, it is fucking mental. Maybe it's something to do with global warming? Who knows? Anyway, what I do know is I've got a can of this stuff. This was kindly given to me by a friend, Julian, the wearer of the sparkly hot pants and the boob tubes. I won't hold that against him. But he got this from the Mind the Gap shop in Hertford North Station. That's in Hertfordshire, obviously. That's a really good shop. I'm not endorsed by them. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not sponsored by anyone. But they do a really good selection of beer. My mate sends me quite a lot of photos of what they've got. And the selection of craft beer is really good. So if you like your craft beer and you're in that area and you don't want to get your stuff online or direct from the brewery, get it from there. Very good selection. I do recommend them. Anyway, this is from the Pressure Drop Brewery. They are from my old hometown of Tottenham. I moved out, they moved in. The bastards. Didn't know that, but they're just round the corner. No, they're not actually round the corner. They're, from what I can gather, more or less opposite the Beavertown Brewery. They're on the same industrial estate in Tottenham. And they originally came from Hackney, but they moved to Tottenham. They expanded. They originally were under the railway arch. They were the archetypal craft brewer under a railway arch in Hackney. Now they've moved to Tottenham. They've got a bigger facility there for brewing. And they brew some quite good beer. But it is expensive. I will say that. I'll get onto that in a minute. But all their beer ain't cheap. So if you want to try some pressure drop stuff, just bear that in mind. Because you will pay a lot. Alright, now we've got that out of the way, let's get on to the beer. Right, this is called Play the Dane. It is a New England IPA. It is 6.8% ABV, so that is in keeping with the New England style. That's usually very fruity, juicy type IPA flavours from American style hops. Quite high ABV. Nice orange cloudy body, citrus colour, not much malt, fair bit of oats or wheat in there to create some body on there. Now the tasting notes they say are papaya, mango and guava. The hops are Citra and Amarillo, and it's describing it as hazy, smooth and juicy, double dry hopped, New England brewed with two of the biggest hitting hops, and they are the two hops. Citra, of course. Does it really need an introduction? It's in almost every decent American beer, certainly in the IPAs, both East and West Coast, and as the name suggests, it is all about the citrus with that. The Amarillo hops, they're a bit more flowery, a bit more herbal, but they've also got some citrus fruit in there as well. But combined, you know, because Citra does have quite a bit of sort of stone fruit, fruity flavours in it, so it's a bit of a jack of all trades, and that's why it's so popular, because it has got all them big juicy flavours. And of course, being in New England, you won't get much on the malt on this. This is all about the hops. They don't really mention if there's wheat or, well, they do, just to prove me a lie. It contains oat and wheat. Okay, now they do quite a few New Englands, and I do wonder why these craft brewers do a hell of a lot of the same style of beer, because there really can't be much in it. I know you can use different hops and all that, but the taste, I don't know. Anyway, that's just something for me to ponder. Let's stop gassing and let's get this beer open. Right, and immediately I'm getting a waft of citrus just as I open it, which is a good sign usually. Now, of course, New England is much sweeter in flavour than the West Coast styles. They're more bitter and astringent. But I have to say, I do like the New England style more. And if you look at that, that's got an absolute ton of carbonation in there. Very tightly packed white head. That's like a 2-finger head on that. Carbonation is going for it. What are we getting on the nose? Lovely. Very sweet. Orange. And mango. I am definitely getting the mango on that. Now, I tried some of theirs yesterday. That was, what was the one called yesterday? I can't remember. But it was one of their other New England IPAs, one of Pressure Drop's other New England IPAs, and came from the same shop. And Julian kindly gave me that one as well. So I'm going to compare the two, and then I'll tell you how much it cost. So let's get it down the hatch. Cheers. Yeah, that's quite nice. That's quite good. In fact, I think it's slightly better than their other IPA. Their other New England IPA. The other New England that I'm comparing this to is one called Palate Notes. And I have to say, I do prefer this one, Play the Dane. I noticed with the Palate Notes that I think it had more lime running through it, or key lime, as it's sometimes referred to. But this hasn't got that. This is a lot more agreeable, I think. There is a ton of sweet stone fruit in that, like mango, apricot, passion fruit, and orange. But it's mostly mango with this. The papaya that they're mentioning in there, and the guava, you do certainly get some of the guava in there. I am getting that. But this is all about mango, as a New England should be. You know, that is what I tend to find. Mango and passion fruit are the two big flavours that I look for in a New England. And also there's orange in there, bitter, not bitter orange, but like a tangerine or something like that. That's what I sort of get. I'm refusing to say fleshy blood orange. You know why as well. That is quite nice. I do like that. There's nothing nasty in that at all. It's got quite a bit of body. That's coming from the oats and the wheat that's in here. And yeah, no complaints about that whatsoever. That's doing everything a good New England should do. So what's the verdict on Play the Dane? It's very nice, I will say. There's a lot going for this. It has all the flavours that a good New England should have. I prefer it to the Palate Notes, which I reviewed yesterday, which had like a lime, it was a mixture of lime and resin running through it, which was a little bit too overbearing for me. But this is slightly sweeter, very agreeable, quite a decent ABV on it as well. And yeah, it does everything that a New England should do. I'm just looking at the label on this, because it's a can covered in the label. That was taken from the South Bank Centre. If you're not familiar with the South Bank Centre, that's based on the South Bank of the Thames in South London, and it's got the brutalist architecture on it, and that's what you've got on the front of it. That fucking dog will bark at anything. A gate opened yesterday and he barked at that. He's a fucking idiot. Or was the Kraken returned home from work? I don't know. Anyway, this is not bad. I quite like it. The price though is worrying. It's $5.95 for 440ml. That's a lot. I think that's a bit too much for me. I'm going to knock marks off for that because that is a hell of a lot to pay. So I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. If it was cheaper, that would be a really good New England. But the price, I'm going to have to knock marks off. So let's get in a 7 out of 10. But I definitely recommend it. If you're feeling flush and you want to treat yourself, get one of these. Really nice. And remember, that dog is going to get his ass kicked. Beer is working class champagne.